Well, hey there, it's Lisa Turner here from Psych Academy, and welcome to this live, which is all about step 3 of the 5 steps to awakening. So if you remember, maybe you do, maybe you don't, that's okay. If you don't remember the 5 steps, look back on our page, and we have the first video was all about the brief outline of the 5 steps. Second video was step 1. Next video is step 2. Now we're up to step 3, which is all about working at the level of the higher self. So if you have any questions, pop them in the question box and I will answer them, even if you're watching on replay. Hello in the future. How is the future? Is it nice? So yeah, pop them in. If you're watching the replay, I will still answer them. And if you're watching live, I will answer them here today. And okay, so let's get started. So step 3, the third step to awakening, is to move beyond the level of the unconscious mind to working at the level of the higher self. So I'm going to say, what the heck do I mean? So what happens is a lot of people start communicating with what they perceive is like a higher sense of awareness. And what they're actually doing is they're opening up their unconscious mind. And this is what we call the difference between a high psych and low psych. And typically what happens is on your journey to awakening, you first awaken to low psych, which is the unconscious mind, which is amazing. And then you go further. And I will share with you at the end. So those of you who think you've got stuck, those of you who used to have amazing spiritual experiences and were speaking to guides and talking to dead people, and then suddenly it stopped, this video answers why that happens. So what's the fundamental difference between low psych and high psych? So low psych is, it's very interesting, versus high psych, which is very useful. So low psych, it's all about information. Low psych is about accuracy. So low psych, interesting, accurate, interesting, accurate information. You might think that sounds great. Let's be interesting. Let's be accurate. Let's get information. But what about this? High psych is useful, transformational, and there's no way you could prove it's accurate or not because it is totally radical new insights. Which would you prefer? Now, there is no right or wrong. There's just what do you need at this particular moment. So typically what happens is when someone's working at the level of low psych, this is about seeing auras and seeing energies and maybe speaking to the dead or those who passed over. This is about proof. Like one of the things people say is, Lisa, I want you to prove how psychic you are. And it's like, well, I could do that. I might be able to do that. I have no idea if I could do that. And to be honest, I'm not really interested, because the only way I can prove that I am psychic, and that is by proving my accuracy, is if I'm giving you information that you already know. So I might be saying, yeah, I can tell you when you grew up in a yellow bedroom or a blue bedroom, and you had a dog called this, and you lived in that kind of place, and your grandmother was called that, and your mother was called that, and you lived in a house there, and all this information that you already know. And you might go, wow, Lisa, you're amazing. And you see, the thing is, I don't care if you think I'm amazing. What I care about is that you know that you're amazing. I mean, it's nice if you think I'm amazing, because you would just be noticing the truth, right? Because we're all amazing. Perception is projection and all that. But seriously, I really want you to really embody your amazingness. And me proving how clever and magical I am doesn't do that. So, and it doesn't change your life. Like if you know that that's accurate, then I'm just giving you information you already know. And you might go, wow, it's very entertaining. And a lot of psychics, they're just out there. They're in the entertainment business. Nothing wrong with that. But I think it has its, it has its limits. Then we look at high psych. And this is all about empowerment. It's about massive transformation. It's about evolution. It's about awakening. And it's about communicating and connecting with highly evolved streams of consciousness. So when someone dies and they pass over, typically when you're a psychic who might call themselves a medium speaks to someone who's passed over, they're often only communicating with the unconscious mind of the person. Now, they may have a lovely, fabulous, wonderful unconscious mind, or personality might be another way of calling it, referring to it. Fabulous personality. And you might want to know where they left the car keys. But how would it be if you could talk to a really highly evolved level of consciousness that's beyond the human mind, that can give you solutions to global problems, including really big challenges you've got in your life? Like your granny may have loved you dearly and may, come back and say, yeah, you're amazing and I still love you, but that may feel a bit reassuring, but what about you worked with a highly evolved guide that actually released all your guilt or anger or shame or hurt or sadness, and so that you felt completely transformed? What if they completely healed and released limiting decisions versus, and it's a little bit like a coping strategy. It's like, oh, I can give you a nice little, it's all going to be okay, versus, okay, let's change this. I don't know if it's going to be okay or not, but it's obviously not okay right now because you're not okay with it. You're upset, you're hurt, you're whatever it is, whatever emotion you've got, that's what you've got. Why don't we work on changing that? And I don't know about you, but have you ever been around someone like when you're really serious in pain and all they say is, it's going to be fine. And you're like, well, that might be the case, but right now it is not friggin' fine. I am not fine. And it's almost like they're negating that. So high psych is about, okay, I'm really present to what you're feeling right now, really present to what you're going through. I didn't know you were going through that, or let's explore that. Let's dig down, find the cause, because a high level psychic will be able to do that and then release that and totally change that. Because when you work with these high level guides, highly evolved streams of consciousness, what they're able to do is completely release and remove your pain from the past. Now, remember, I talked about that in the last video. So, and you know, I don't know if you've heard about this idea about like being at cause or being at effect. And I've probably got another video here about that somewhere. Basically, when you're at cause, you recognize and experience yourself as the creator of your experience. When you're at effect, things happen to you. And those people tend to go into blame a little bit more. And even if they don't really, I mean, it's like they can look like victims, and actually they sort of are acting like they are, even if they're not. Now, the thing about low psych and high psych is that at low psych, it's very easy to be at effect. And at high psych, it's very hard to be at effect and very easy to be at cause. So let me explain. It's like, so some of the differences. So a low psych or a low level guide, even, they will limit you. They will tell you what to do. They'll give you accurate information that you already knew, but doesn't really change your life. They will, and when you're a low level psychic, they've got communication with guides is hit and miss. Might work one day, might not work. And they'll say, oh, you know, I didn't have my lucky stone with me. They will often tell you what to do. Then a really interesting example of this. I knew a woman living in Spain, hated it. And I'm like, oh, I really hate, you know, she was like, I really hate living in Spain. And I was like, well, you know, where do you want to live? I'd love to go home and live in Ireland with my family. And I asked her, why don't you do, you know, what stops you? Why do you have to be in Spain? My spirit guide told me I had to be in Spain, even though I hate it. It's like, I don't know that a highly evolved guide would tell you you have to live in Spain. Even, nothing wrong with Spain. I love Spain. But you have to live in this place, even though you hate it. You have to do this, even though you hate it. A high level guide will say, what do you want? Oh, here are some ways that you could get it, or here's some things you could do to enable you to get it. So that's low psych. So low psych can also be used to control and manipulate others, whereas a high level psychic will always work for the highest good. They'll never disempower, even if, like, so sometimes it's really easy. You know, I get people come to me all the time. What should I do? What's my life's purpose? What decision should I make? What should I do? What should I do? And it's like, if I were to say to them, you should do this, or even if I made a suggestion, that could subtly or overtly disempower them. So let's look at some of the high level psychic stuff, and then I'll come back to low psych again. So high psych. High psych is always the creator of their universe. Oh, hi, Dee Dee. Lovely to see you. Welcome. Good to see you. So high psych, they're always at cause. They always go, okay, this is what's happened. Nothing seems to be a problem. Nothing's a problem unless it's a problem. And then they just recognize that as a high level psychic, they've got the resources to change that. Whereas a low psych will limit, high psych will always create choice, expand options and possibilities, give access to greater resources. High psych, revolutionary ideas and insights. And most of the major, you know, breakthroughs in medicine and science and tech have actually come at the level of the higher self. Low psych, you need protection, because here's the paradox. So have you heard of this? Like, you need to be at one with everything, right? Except the bad stuff, which we need to protect ourselves from. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So, hey, Kelly, lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. You already know this because you were at the event, one of the events last week, but we're just recapping low and high psych. So join us. Welcome. So low psych you need protection from negative energy, versus high psych you're able to resonate with anything, and any energy that isn't useful, you just don't use, right? You know, it's a bit like saying, oh, I need to protect myself from the really spicy spices on my spice shelf. Try saying that 3 times fast. Versus, well, I just won't use them if I don't want it. You know, I wouldn't necessarily put curry powder in a cake. I don't need to protect myself from the curry powder. I just need to not use it. Versus going, okay, so there's all forms of energy here. Some are useful, some are not. And I've created it all. And you know, that idea, like, I'm the creator of my universe. I need to become at one with everything except the bad stuff, which somehow I didn't create. Do you notice how that puts you into blame or like victim mode? I'm the victim of something that, to the effect of something that's outside of my control. That's low psych you. So high psych you, resonate with anything, use the energy that's useful, just don't use it if it's not. High psych you can connect anytime, anywhere, at will, you choose, and you never get connected with, or your guide doesn't romp. You know, I've heard people say, well, my guide just kept waking me up last night. A true high-level guide would not do that. Whereas a high-level guide, and then you might say, well, you know, I just have to wait for my guide, and I don't know if they're going to talk to me today. It's like, your guide, if they're a high-level guide, and you're a high-level psychic, they will always talk to you anytime. And they'll always give you free will. So even if you were to ask, what should I do? A high-level guide won't answer. They'll just, my guide has this funny way of saying it. They always say, this is a jelly bean question. You're asking me what color jelly bean should I eat? Because basically that's how they experience it. So low psych you, it can be used to control and manipulate others, and some psychics do this. The answers, the information can be quite sort of trivia. It's very interesting. I know what color your wallpaper was, what sort of school you went to, whatever. Versus high-level psychic, where it's really interesting, but really useful and really expansive and empowering, and high-level insights. And then low psych you, there's a lot of judgment. Have you ever heard of this? We need to not be in judgment. Except I also need to protect myself from bad energy. Well, who decides what's good and bad? Because that's a judgment. So I would just say, let's judge it as useful or not useful, not good or bad, and accept everything, and then just be really compassionate. You know, so you know, I ran an event recently, and it was a free event. And one of the things about free events, you never know who's going to show up, and you get a lot of people who show up, and they kind of, I don't know. I mean, and they can be quite nasty, and I get hate mail afterwards. It's like, I didn't give enough, or they didn't like what I gave, or, you know, I bought everyone a cup of coffee. That costs hundreds of pounds. You've got hundreds of people in the room, hundreds and hundreds of pounds buying everyone a cup of coffee, £300-400 to buy everyone in the room a cup of coffee. And some people complained it wasn't the right sort of coffee. Now, it's really easy for me to go into resentment and judgment of that, you know, what a miserable bugger. And it's like, do you know what? Let's go into compassion. What kind of life must that person have, that they have so little that anything they get, it's like, or feel that they have so little control, or that whatever's going on for them, that they have to attack me. And it's like, you know what? I'm really sorry that your life isn't how you want it to be. And I would love to be able to help you with that. And if you want to, that's great. And if you don't, that's great too. And if you want to send me hate mail, well, send it, and I just won't read it because I don't need it. But thanks anyway. Thanks for sharing. So it's about being really compassionate. Just like, what must somebody be going through for them to get really grumpy about the wrong sort of coffee or whatever? And, you know, we had people piling in. We gave everyone a free bottle of water and in one of the events. And some people would take like 3 or 4 and go, oh, free water. Also, here's the thing. It's free to them, but it's not free to me, or it's not free to the hotel. You know, it's somebody's paying for that water. And the thing is, it's like, wow, how little must they have that they get excited about free water? And the only thing that was sad is then not everyone got a bottle of water, and some people then got grumpy that there wasn't enough water, and it's like, oh my goodness. But you know what? You can't please everyone, and we do our best. And again, those who are unhappy because they didn't get water or they took too much water, just be compassionate rather than judgment. That's good or bad. What a bad person that they stole all the water. So just be compassionate. They felt they needed it. So the other thing is, so low psych you, you tend to feel controlled, you're at effect, you're slightly can be in judgments of good or bad, restricted, told what to do, versus high psych you, you've got choice, access to resources, solutions, ideas, can rise above problems, you always have free will, and you're always inspired by your guides versus controlled by them. You never get told what to do as a high-level psychic. And so this is why I think it's really important to start thinking about working at the level of the higher self. And here's one of the things that can happen. So remember at the beginning I said, do you ever have that experience where it's like, you're maybe communicating with the dead and you've got some guides and you can see auras and energy and all that stuff, and then it vanishes? Have you had that? If you've had that, just pop in, yes, I had that, or something like that. Yeah, it vanished, it disappeared, it stopped. And you might think, I've got some blocks, I've got some limitations, and you might. But here's what I think happens. I think it's because you are moving to high psych, but because you're so used to, and there's a lot of conditioning out there about what it means to be psychic, and a lot of people don't even understand this idea of it, being psychic and being a high level and low level psychic. And so sometimes you're losing the low psych so that you can start accessing high psych. Now, if you want to really access high psych, if you want to have the access to your higher self, then join us at our conference. Hello, Karen, welcome. No, and Kelly, I know you're joining us at our 3-day event. So I'm going to drop the link in here. There we go. There we are. So if you want to have access to your higher self, then join us at our 3-day event, because here's what's going to happen. We're going to take you through those 5 steps to awakening. We're going to, and we actually do this before you join the event. We're going to show you some techniques on meditation so you can start meditating. We're going to give you, we're going to guide you through our higher self therapy process, which releases all of your negative emotions. So that's step 2, clearing the blocks. Step 3, you're going to integrate your higher self. Now, what we do here in Psych Academy is we're big on initiations. So what we do is we bring your higher self so that it's above your head. We raise your vibration and bring your higher self down so they're merged, so that you are experiencing you being your higher self. You're communicating, connected with your higher self. And oh, Grace, there's a big tease. I don't know what you mean by what was a big tease. Say more about that. I will try and untease you. So let me say a little bit more about initiation while Grace pops her clarifies that. I'm happy to answer any questions. So at the way initiations work, so the first thing to understand is I am not doing anything to you, the team. We have a team who work with the initiation to, I think one of them, somebody said, we just polish you up, but we're not doing anything to you in the long-term sense. So it's a bit like this. It's like if you drive a car, when you start the engine, I don't know if you've ever had this, and you start, but I never noticed this, and it kind of makes that, if you listen really carefully, it kind of makes that noise, and then it goes vroom. So noise, that's the starter motor. So what the starter motor does is it spins the engine up to speed, and then you squirt the fuel in, and then the engine, if it's a diesel like mine, it will, the compression of the fuel will then fire, and then boom, the engine goes. And then there's that lovely vroom noise that we all know and love, right? Now, the thing about the starter motor, if you keep the key turned after the engine started, or you accidentally turn it when the engine started, and you get that noise. I'm great at car sound effects, right? So that noise is the starter motor engaging on the engine that's already running. So what we do is we raise your vibration, that's the starter motor, spin you up to speed, bring your higher self down, that's the fuel, and then we get out of the way. We get out of the way, and you are then connected. Now, remember, you're always at choice. So so we take you through higher self therapy. We take you through high self therapy to completely clear the blocks. We give you that, take you through that initiation, so you have that access, do that process, clear the channels, raise your vibration, bring your higher self in. What I'll also do on the 3-day event is I'll have a channeling session. So I'll be invoking my guides, high-level guides, and you can ask them any question you like. Now, can't guarantee that every question will be answered, because it can be quite a lot. Well, it's not a huge group, but we typically have more people than and questions than there's time for. But I can guarantee you this: if you don't come to the event, you won't get your question answered. But if you do come, you might. There's a good chance. We normally answer 2/3. And here's the thing: you get the answer to the question that you needed, even if you didn't ask it, because every answer is for everyone. So, what else? We do lots of other things. I can't remember them right now. Go and check that. We'll give you, take you through Spiritual Guide to Riches, how the process of manifestation works. I'm all tangled up here with my wires and my little wrap here, because it's quite cold. And anyway, it's supposed to be spring, but it's quite cold. So that's the event. go and check it out. Go and, if you have any questions about it, ping us or let us know. So, oh, Grace says big tease. Why is that tease? Don't know why that was. Karen says, just saying I'm in Australia. Hello, Karen from Australia. You might notice my accent. I grew up in Melbourne. A little bit of a twang. I worked in the auto industry for years. So I used to talk about automobiles. And then I used to work in emissions. And it was all right when I talked about CO and CO2. But as soon as I talked about cars and carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, that was it. People spotted me. Not that I mattered. So, so Karen says, definitely can't attend from Australia. Yeah, that meant not. It's coming over for 3 days. I can see that that's a big ask from Australia. I would actually be questioning that. I've gone to Australia for, the shortest time I've ever gone for is a week, but that was pretty intense. But we have some other stuff. Go check out the website. We have some other longer retreats. Bridget, great question. Bridget has asked, if I have more blocks than time to remove, what happens? So here's the way we work. So first we'll go and listen to the other video, but the thing is you probably only have one block, or one or two big blocks that manifest in a myriad of ways. And the power of higher self therapy is that about 90% of people can release all of their blocks, all of their resistance within and it normally takes that 90-minute session within that 90-minute session. Some very few people need a little bit extra, but 95% people totally get clear in that session. And that's why we also include some bonuses. We include access to our Spiritual Success Mastermind, so you can join us on like these online Zoom calls. You also get permanent lifetime access to our higher self therapy online, so that anytime, so the thing is, anytime you hit a block, you can release it. And the thing is, you come to the event, you release everything you're conscious of, what will happen? You'll become conscious of more. So we give you higher self therapy so you can just release that. So hope that answered your question. Laura says she lives so far away. Well, travel is an option, but if that doesn't feel possible for you, I respect that. I don't know where you're far away from, so I didn't say where it was. Might be right on your doorstep. So go check the website. We do run different events around at different times. So the thing to do is get on our mailing list or stay on our stay on our page. Keep checking us out, because we may be running one in your town soon. But if you want to clear it now, come to the next one, which is the next one on the website. Go watch that. Go check out the website. All the dates, the locations are there, and we've got one coming up not too long. And could I give a little bonus? No, I don't think I can. I think you've got enough bonuses. So you got the bonuses are, we also give you access to our online practical awakening program. That's where we teach you how to meditate, give you access to higher self therapy online, and access to our Spiritual Success Mastermind. The first 12 that register do get a private group, or the next 12 actually from this live do get a private group one-to-one private group VIP session with me, where I'll invoke my guides. But that's limited, and I think I'm not actually sure how many we're up to now, but yeah, so go do it now and you might get in that first 12. All right then, my darlings. Can't see any other questions. Love you all. Good to see you here, Angela, Kelly, Karen, Grace, Bridget, Laura, Donna. Hi. Good to see you. Good to see you. So I will see you at the live event or on our next Facebook Live. Till then, lots of love. Bye for now. Bye.